y'all. These people did all this to force you out of somebody's life, right? Or to force a separation. Only for this person to now be heavily focused on you, obsessing even. That is called, it's like naturally pulling them away from these people, okay, that could have initially did something to cause this distance between y'all, right? Ain't that crazy? Yeah, so this shit backfired. This shit is backfiring because this is somebody's secret emotions. Ace of Cups, Two of Cups towards you, an Emperor energy that could have been in karmic energy at some point, okay? Not making a decision here, an important decision about you. Yeah, that is crazy as hell. Oh my god, why is there weird ass shit in the world? Damn. All right, there was some type of competition about. All right, let's look at it from the spirit realm. A lot of times when we talk about the Ten of Pentacles or whatever, we're talking about family, we're talking about success, we're talking about abundance, we're talking about, you know, like having all your needs fulfilled, just having everything, like, you know, being well off, right? Stability. But I feel like in the spirit realm, it's like, it's talking about legacy. It's talking about a divine legacy, okay? A divine covenant of a divine inheritance, right? It's really giving demons, or yeah, demonic spirits, being able to recognize this within us divine ones. And you know how some people end up like marrying like people who just want them for their money, and how that's mostly what it is. That's mostly how it's manifested in the flesh, like people getting with somebody for what they have, like materials, or look, for the fame, for the access, and all of that shit, right? So that's how it looks in the material realm, like in the material reality, like in the flesh. But in the spirit, there's demons like fighting for like a spiritual abundance or like benefits, because it's almost like a bigger fish, it's like a bigger prize, you know. Because look at it like this: if they manage to swindle themselves into a position or a spot that they were never supposed to be in, let's say they do successfully push out a divine feminine out of her spot, and they get with that divine masculine, and so they reap the benefits. What we see on the outside, they may be reaping, like, you know, material success and, you know, stuff like that, finances, blah, yada yada yada, or attention from that person, or being seen with that person, whatever. But in the spirit realm, it's literally like you're a demonic entity. So of course you can't really benefit, you know, like in the spirit realm. I mean, besides harvesting energy, like it can definitely just feed. Yeah, I take that back. it does benefit by harvesting. Okay, so let's say this karmic feminine pushes a divine feminine out of her spot, give it this divine masculine, and she's harvesting his divine energy for herself. But it's almost like a endless hole. Like, she's consuming the energy, she's weaponizing the energy, maybe even weaponizing it back against him, or with others, maybe masquerading herself or cloaking herself in his energy to gain access to certain things, right? That's connected to other people's spiritual signature, that's, created to whatever they've manifested in the material realm, right? It's almost like somebody stole your credit card or some shit, and so yeah, like, they going and they doing all this shit with your credit card. But at the end of the day, like, when the shit get turned off and they can't prove identity and stuff, okay, all right, so you enjoyed whatever for that moment, but you still not really getting like the, that's kind of like the win for demonic energy, or karmic energy, or whatever. Like, so not only do they get to boot one divine person out of a spot, they get to harvest energy off that, or make attempt to harvest energy off hurting that person, harvest energy off the other person, right, that they're with, or that they've attached themselves to, or trying to attach themselves to, right? And hopefully reap benefits that is associated with that person's blessings or prosperity, right? So yeah, it's kind of like a big fish, like, with their demented like friends and shit like that with the other demons, with the devils. It's kind of like a big fish. Like, how in the physical, how a dude might like try to show off his car, or show off his money, his jewelry, his female, or whatever. Demons and devils, they do that same thing, because if you're in a show-offy, prideful energy, like vain energy, that's not of God. So who is it of? It's of demented energy. So devils, in a way, like, they do that same thing, bro. Like, and normally you'll see it manifest in the vessel that they're currently compromising to do it. You'll see it manifest in that person, like, being that type of female. Like, a lot of these female rappers and shit, like, who just act like they so cold and heartless, when it comes to people's hearts and emotions, and people's loyalties and people's unions and stuff. How people don't really have respect for people's unions anymore. People don't have respect for it. And it's like they're trying to spread themselves like wildfire. Like, they want everybody to be on that type of timing. Like, unless it's some shit that they really like, that they really feel gives them like that high. You feel me? Like, unless it's that, they may fight your ass for that, right? They'll fight you for that. Yep. Because in that fighting also comes torment. Especially if they're able to pull one person down and hold them down, that it creates harm or hurt for the other person, right? So that becomes torment in a way. But at the end of the day, it's all breeding grounds to harvest off of and use that energy to manifest whatever the fuck else, even if it is wealth, right? 808 is literally like adrenochrome, how you would scare, the concept of scaring a child or inducing fear in somebody, so it released, certain chemical or like neurotransmitters and hormones and stuff in the person's blood that will make their blood almost like this youth serum type shit. I don't know, like, it changes it changes the makeup of the blood, right? And it's supposed to, I don't know, like, be some type of potion, right? Secret potion, a magic potion type shit. Like, that's what it's giving. That's what it's giving. But yeah, pretty much it. I just wanted to put it on a separate video, um so people can kind of like just get straight to the point, besides the last video I posted, because it's pretty long. Okay. Excuse me. The Lovers and the Queen of Cups. Now here's another thing. Right. Somebody driving a wedge, right? Or trying to disconnect or sever a connection that God put together. God already said no man can put asunder to what he's put together, first of all. Second of all, you're dealing with light individuals. Third, so now, because that person is that person's counterpart, and that person is divine, they're the divine one out of the whole context of the situation. They're the light. So in darkness, light is naturally going to stand out. When it's nighttime, the moon, the stars are going to naturally stand out in the darkness. So these people are darkness. You are the light. This person is focused on you, and it's almost like they're in this cloud, or they've been in a cloud of like confusion and indecision and fear and trauma, blah 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 blah, PTSD, whatever the fuck, right? So it's like, but that light though, it's almost like the light is the clearest thing in the situation. And so it's almost like spiritually it's inevitable to focus on the light, right? And so it's like, it's something about this person just being focused on you because you're not engaging, you're not talking, you're not giving any energy. And so they're being pulled. It's like it's like if you're outside and it's cold and there's no sun and stuff like that, and you're cold, like, you're going to naturally try to move towards a heat source, basically. So this can even be talking about people just surrounded by cold-hearted individuals, like, yeah. And so they're feeling naturally drawn to you, but there's definitely a focus on you. And with that focus on you as a light being, focusing on the light is also causing, like, you know how the sun decalcifies and almost like purifies and detoxes? When somebody is focused on your divine light, it's like it kind of decalcifies like whatever spiritual confusion, veils, illusions, delusional energy. It just kind of, it clears away, like it dissipates. So meaning also like their perception and their intuition, like around the things around them, their environment, like that, it spreads, right? And so they start to see things more clearly in their, in their environment, their immediate environment. And I felt downloads. Yeah. So it's almost like comparing how you make them feel compared to how they end up feeling, with being around these people, or the lack of feeling. Okay. Maybe they notice themselves like growing more cold, more harsh, more mean, more angry, more arrogant, more selfish. The longer or the more they connect with these people, like they're just noticing these horrible traits, like being brought or bred out of them. Like, not saying that the seeds have been there, but it's like these people's energy is like fueling like the energy of arrogance, the energy of pride, like unhealthy pride, because pride is not bad within itself, but a fluctuated pride, this egotistical energy. That's because this is how these people are. There's this video I just watched of this mother and her son, and she was teaching him a lesson about the plants. Like, the bushes were the same bushes that was around each other. The flowers were the same flowers that was around each other, type shit. And she basically said, You see how all these bushes look the same and they're around each other? You see how all these flowers look the same and they're around each other? You see how these flowers and these bushes are in separate places? But the bushes are like each other and they're around each other. The flowers like each other and they're around each other. Yes. Basically, she was saying, you are the company you keep. Somebody is seeing themselves, is noticing like who they become or shift into the more they connect or be around these people compared to whom they shift and embody when they're with you. And they're realizing that who they become or are influenced to be, or like the energy that they embody when they're around you, is divine. It looks the closest to divine energy compared to the kind of person they become or they're influenced to be with these people. I'm talking about an emperor. I'm talking about a divine masculine. I'm talking about a leader. I'm talking about somebody that's realizing, yo, I'm not supposed to be following these people. I'm supposed to be forging a path that these people should be following. That part. Clarify this energy, divine. Clarify this energy. Exactly. Exactly. This person is realizing that they're not supposed to be following these people, bro. They're not supposed to be allowing themselves like to transform into something that's like a contradiction to God. Like, and I feel like with the Six of Pentacles, that's why this person is holding the scales. Like, there's an emphasis on balance here based on conditions, the situation, or whatever. Like, it's something about somebody just doing things fair. And somebody's like no longer overlooking these demonic ways and attitudes, okay? Or somebody's detached from these people, from this three. Yeah, somebody detached from some type of idea. Somebody detached from some type of bondage, okay? They're definitely closed off from this. What is this person focused on in this Four of Cups? Oh, damn. Clarify this energy. Somebody's sad. Somebody's sad. It's the Nine of Cups reverse, and they sad about this Two of Cups situation. They sad because y'all in this Queen of Swords energy, okay? And they're still holding on to your energy, or they want you to hold on to this Two of Cups. This even me talking about focused on a lack of fulfillment. Someone's focused on a lack of fulfillment from walking away, or somebody walking away with the Eight of Cups. The Moon card in the World. It's Queen of Pentacles. Somebody that's solid. Somebody that's really loyal and dedicated and grounded. And somebody that grounds and somebody that helps them grow in a positive way. Yep. A past love. Somebody definitely wants to come together with you. Yeah. With the Three of Cups, the Six of Wands, and Judgment. Somebody's made a judgment call and there was definitely somebody trying to make it seem like something was just like lust based and sexual. Or somebody thought, I don't know, somebody was trying to convince, or somebody was very emotionally manipulative with this person, because somebody was really serious. Like, they really did not want to be caught up in like a superficial situation, and because the attraction was so strong or some shit like that, it made them like more vulnerable, or especially like them being able to be triggered by you too. Oh my god, like it made them more vulnerable, susceptible to some type of bad advice or unsound counsel. Because why are these two cards here together? Make it make sense. Yeah, no. Somebody was influenced to sacrifice some type of connection here. A connection that they should be protecting. Okay? And putting the work towards. Somebody may want to continue putting work towards something. This person could be guarded though. Oh, this person, okay. Yeah, because I guess somebody finally comes to the realization about these people betraying them. Like, finally, it's been ages. Finally, goddamn, like, Spirit done gave you how many dreams? Finally, it's been ages. What the fuck? I can see clearly now. This King of Swords can see clearly now. Okay? That they clearly fucked up. High Priestess. Yeah. And what's even worse, like what's really fucking with this person is that you communicated, like you've even communicated to this person like about this energy present around them, bro. Yeah, but somebody could have been like very defensive of these energies or whatever, when you was literally like this temperance angel. You were supposed to reveal this stuff to this person, to this hermit energy. You was in this temperance energy. They was in the hermit energy. Oh my God. You were supposed to tell them about this Seven of Swords energy. Shift their perception. Okay? Help them come to a new perspective, a divine perspective about these people, these energies around them on this sneaky shit, to help bring them justice and balance. This is crazy. This is crazy. Yeah. Yes. Oh my motherfucking gosh. Bro. Look at this shit. All these fucking signs and messages. All this clarity and enlightenment and exposure for this person to realize they need to leave these people out in the cold. They need to remove themselves from this group, from these karmic friends, karmic family. Walk away from these people. What? The sun and the moon? Bro. And you know what's even crazier about it? What I just got done saying. The Empress. You were supposed to illuminate this shit to this person, bro. And it's fucked up because it's like at the end of it all, you ended up being treated like you was the betrayer, like you was the opposition, like to the divine masculine or to the divine feminine. Whole time you this Empress energy that's like running the empire with them, okay, overseeing shit with them, and intuitively seeing the things that's growing, that's manifesting, seeing the seeds that's being planted to seeing and identifying the indifference in the water that people are trying to use to water the garden. Noticing something's off-putting about the air quality. Noticing certain plants aren't growing as they should be growing. Everything that a gardener is able to recognize to maintain the quality and prosperity of their garden, the Empress sees it while she's sitting on the throne in the empire. And you're communicating this information to the emperor. Right? You understand the moon cycles? All of that. Yo. Transformation. Oh, this is so fucking cool. And then the Five of Swords is here again, putting a death to this Five of Swords energy. But yeah. 10 of Wands, the Hierophant, and the Ace of Swords. And the Queen of Cups. No. This person wasn't supposed to be ignoring the information you was giving them. They were not supposed to be ignoring these signs and stuff like that. They were not supposed to be doing that. But it's cool, you know. Not the first nor the last person to be deceived by people whom you love, okay? Because like I always say, in most cases, like, it's demons and devils and spirits and demonic ancestors that people have opened themselves up to, okay? Like, that's more so what you got to cut off, okay? Which means, or which may include the vessel that they're residing in, which is that person. And you know, when you start to see things that way, you'll develop more strength, you get what I'm saying, like, to move accordingly and like really war, okay, and protect yourself in the spirit, right? But that's all I have for you guys in this video. I'll see you next time.